remember when I did my first CC1 about 2 years back or so, I got a standing innovation, and I'd like to probably make that probably a habit that we make in this club. So can everyone stand and give Karen? So now I'm going to stump you all with some, if you write it down. Some bowling stats or records from the World Cup. The most wickets taken in the World Cup or over their career in the World Cup belongs to Glenn McGrath, who took 71 wickets between the 1996 World Cup to the 2007 World Cup. The lowest bowling average belongs to Glenn McGrath, where he's got an average of 19.21 runs per wicket over his World Cup career. The best bowling figures belongs to Glenn McGrath, who got 7 for 15 runs against Namibia in the 2003 World Cup. And most wickets taken in a tournament belongs to Glenn McGrath, who got 26 wickets in the 2007 World Cup. So it's no small surprise that Australia won 3 consecutive World Cups in a row, and they won 4 World Cups, which makes them the winningest nation in the World Cup. Now I'd like to call upon Enius. Could you read the objectives of the CC6? Do you have the methodology?
So Napoleon is doing the 26. It's all about vocabulary objectives. Use voice, volume, pitch, rate, and quality to reflect and add meaning and interest to your message. Use pauses to enhance your message. Use vocabulary smoothly and naturally. Time 5-7 minutes. It's faster.
I would like to call upon Mulelo, who's going to do a trial run for a CC6, and her speech is entitled "Fighting Demons Rescued by Angels."
Thank you, everyone. I thought I should do a trial run because I believe why we joined Toastmasters is to practice and to get it perfect. So this will be my practice run. The concept of my speech actually came about fighting demons and rescued by angels. It's just, words to use for just saying that we all face challenges in life, right? And let's just take, for instance, I was going to start my speech by saying, like we are in a war zone. A war zone is when people go and prepare for war. Everybody goes there prepared and with a plan, and so that they can win wars, you have to be able to actually plan for it. So I think that life is also like that. Through all the challenges you face in life, you can be facing challenges, but the best thing for you to do is to act like you are at a war. Whenever you face a challenge, you take it on like it's a war that you're fighting, and then you have to prepare for and then plan for it and fight for. So my personal war, actually, everybody sees Nombs like, oh, she's so bubbly, but my personal war is actually depression, so I go through like episodes of being happy and totally sad, and it's kind of like, so I'm saying to you, if I didn't know about this depression part of me, then I wouldn't know how to fight it. So every challenge in your life, kind of like face it like going to war, like face it headstrong, plan for it, and then once you know more about the problem, then you are able to face it head on. Just like depression, like I think the doctors and the psychologists think that I'm doing very well with the depression now because I know what it is all about. Because you cannot prepare for war unless you know who you're going to fight. Because if you don't know, then you're like almost like a blind man. So I'm just trying to come up with that speech title, Fighting Demons Rescued by Angels, meaning that obviously in life, when you have challenges, you have people like your friends, your family, and your support system that pull you up and say, you know, you shouldn't be so, challenges are there for every day to be fought, but you should just stand up and then it's like going to war. Like it's like going to war. When troops go to war, they prepare with their army and they face the challenges headstrong. They prepare their equipment, they prepare their guns, because without preparation, then you are almost stuck without knowing what it is that you want to do. So, I don't know, your advice on how to go about this speech of vocal variety. How can I use that concept to actually, so that I think about a lot of things in my mind. So it's like kind of like difficult to make it like tight and use vocal variety to just do the CC6.
So time for suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay. So since it's about your lows and your highs, so when you get into your speech and you're now describing your depression, you should match or align those moments with a softer tone or whatever. And then when it comes to someone coming in with a call, a friend, random phone call from a friend, and then they just say the relevant things and it uplifts you, then that's when you bring in an oomph to your vocals. It's just to match the emotions and the stages of what you're doing.
Next part.
Wait.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly right. What I didn't pick up is how you actually asked us, but you didn't talk to us about how you're going to do vocal variety. I suppose that's what you were asking us.
I'm asking
about at the
you.
end because you were telling us about the whole story. So
Yeah.
my first comment was, okay, but how are you going to fit this in? But I do agree with Lisa exactly that. I think I think this is a very personal journey. So there is room for obviously a very personal side of you that maybe we don't all see. And this is the vocal variety. You use your vocal talent for that. But then we do see the bubbly side. We do see that. And I like to see that. I thrive on that. I think that you make this club from that. So that is a different vocal variety. Obviously they're much more upbeat. So you can use that. And I think it's probably, and you have humor and things like that in your arsenal. So for me, that's the upbeat, that's where you should be going towards, because when it's personal, it can be a bit heavy sometimes. And I think you need to find the good stuff and get strength from that. So and use, so you've definitely got two opposite sides that you can definitely use vocal variety.
Okay. Stanley.
I'm thinking, starting from your topic, fighting demons, that is the depression side. So maybe, some incidents that you can recall to illustrate that, when you're fighting this demon, how you were feeling, what happened, and tell us just how you were feeling, maybe you're feeling desperate or even suicidal, and the vocal variety would be there, and it would be heavy, dirge stuff, and then the other side, rescued by angels, where is this angel? Maybe a friend coming with something that just helps you to pull out of that, and then now it's like the fanfare coming on now, really in a crescendo, your vocal variety showing that rising from the ashes kind of the situation. So let's keep going.
So CC6 is about the variety, which is pitch, tempo, speed, volume. But you also mustn't forget that you mustn't forget to not forget everything you've done before. So all your basics still need to be there. So you're still going to have a structure, opening, body, conclusion, sort of looping back to opening. So you mustn't forget that. sometimes you can have a lot of vocal variety, but you still fall over on the structure of the speech and some of those things, which your body language is also before this. So the intention is to at least not forget the past in your other speeches, but to the specifics need to focus on the pitch, tempo, volume, rate aspects. So that's what you need to focus on. You can give the same speech in 3 different ways. You can make it a body language speech, you can make it a motivational speech, you can make it a vocal variety speech. Without changing a single word in the speech, it's just the emphasis you're giving. So if you had to write the same speech, you'd use the body side, you're using a lot more motion and body, but then you can say the same speech in varying the pitch and tempo. So that's what you really need to think about is, I know some Toastmasters who will use the same speech over and over again, to use it for different reasons, tweak it, tease it, on the focus. You're going to change those things, the pitch. So volume is the easiest to change. You go quiet, you go loud. Talk fast, talk slow. And with emotions have inherent ability to slow things down, to speed things up, pitch and tempo. So just look at that. We all forget that. We all have a natural way of talking. This is quite a hard one for a lot of people, because we just have a natural way of talking to the world. And you need to focus on those things that are not natural. So some people struggle with body language, some people struggle with this one, on vocal variety.
Yes, Ines.
Just to add on to what he said, this whole speech is basically about what I term as 4 Ps, which is your pace, pitch, pauses, and power. So those are the 4 main issues that you should concentrate on. Whenever you're conveying an emotion or a feeling, it has to be shown by your voice. So when you say I'm bubbly, you have to show it with gusto, with a bit of zeal, so that it shows that you are bubbly. You can't say I'm bubbly. You have to say I'm bubbly. Now you're conveying the feeling and the emotions, and the body also goes together with that. So in a way, you are tying up your body speaks with your voice. So as you say it, your body follows, and your weight also does the same thing. So that there is, congruence between the 2 things. So those are some of the things that you might need to incorporate. So when you say, for example, depression, you can't say depression. You have to go down because it's a safe thing. So you have to show that this is a safe thing. Or if it's going to war, you have to show that it's a fight. You can't say going to war. So it has to be with a bit of passion and a bit of zeal. So you actually play with the words. The words that you say, you have to convey a certain feeling. That's the way you do it.
Thank you, Ines. Does anyone want to add to that? I guess that is my demo speech.
Do you want to do the real speech now?
Here's my demo speech. I'm going to actually take your advice and then see how I incorporate it. I just didn't want to not just cancel like everybody, so I just thought, let me just use myself as and just see what you guys think. So yes, I'll do my CC6 on the next meeting we have. Thank you very much, guys.